those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Decomposing. Actual doctor, actual composer. And in approximately 10 minutes, I'm going to be jumping into a call with the Twitch Rivals channel. Twitch Rivals being an official Twitch channel that broadcasts competitive gameplay. And I am going to be playing Elden Ring this evening on an electric saxophone. We're going to be fighting Malenia at RL1 this evening because I've lost my mind. But also because I beat Malenia while practicing yesterday. That kind of sealed the deal. I have to now. I have to fight Malenia. It's happening! It's happening, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. It's happening, it's happening. Here we f***ing go. All right, y'all. I will see you on the other side. I am definitely going to be...
Hello there, and welcome back into Twitch Rivals. We are all we're just so psyched for this. This is going to be great. We've got PvP coming up here, where it's all to play for on 2v2s here on the Elden Ring Anniversary PvEVP featuring Mendo. PvE is now done here, Ainrun. We've had a chance to have a great couple of hours of just seeing, I think that's been the greatest thing. It's just showcasing the game's incredible array of boss fights. We've kind of seen most of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love Elden Ring. It is probably my favorite From Software game. There's just so much variety. There's so much that you can do, so many builds, so many different ways that you can go. And we saw a lot of them. So, chat, you guys are very lucky because you got to see a lot of content. And, you know, speaking of content, we still have much more to come. The 2v2 PvP bracket, you know, I can't wait. I had some of the best times of my casting career calling those games between Ouroboros and Star Zero Chris. So hopefully we get more of those today, and yeah, much more to come.
Yeah, I mean, Nova as well. You know, we've had a real kind of showcase as well of creators, I think, as well, which has been really good. Obviously, there's bosses. You know, the game is fantastic, but I guess that the players, there are so many accomplished creators, streamers right now playing this game, and they're managing to complete it in such an array of different ways. And we saw yesterday Perry using what was the name of the head unit? Was it EEG? I think it was called.
Yeah, the electroencephalogram. I think. I don't know. I'm too stupid to actually know. Yeah. But something like that.
I mean, just the fact that you can that all the games being completed in so many different ways. It is amazing to see, isn't it? The community come together and celebrate all these people, kind of doing it in a very out there manner.
Yeah, it's crazy how, unique everyone is getting with these runs. It started with like dance pad and then Guitar Hero controller, and then, it just evolves into just madness.
And when you're playing, when you're trying to complete a boss with two different controllers, as you have been doing recently, what are you kind of mimicking the same movements on both? Like, are you jumping with like a thumb back and forth? I don't know how you hold on two pads and managing to do this. You're like a superhero. I understand it.
It's the hardest part of that run is trying to get your hands to move independently from each other. But there's so many times where I'll roll on one side and roll on the other as well. But it's just holding onto the controllers. It takes a lot to get used to. It does.
You've actually done a similar type of run before, right? With but you've done a one-handed controller run before, so that probably helped you ramp up towards this challenge. So because you're already used to just like one-handing a controller.
I've done most of the FromSoft games other than DS2 and Sekiro one-handed.
Nice. They're spectacular. And speaking of spectacular, as always, we have fantastic guests on this show, and there is one person who has managed, I think, to attempt all these different Souls games using an electric saxophone, and that is the one and only Dr. Decomposing, who's here right now on Twitch Rivals with us. It is great to have you here, Doc. It's so good to see you. Hey, man. I got to ask first and foremost. We talked about these different ways of completing Elden Ring, other Souls games. You're doing it on an electric saxophone. Please tell us all here on the broadcast team, as well as everyone at home. How are you doing that? You crazy person.
It's a good question. So first off, this is called an Aerophone, a Roland Aerophone AE10 specifically. It's basically an electric saxophone. And the way that I am playing the game is when I play this instrument, which I am actually physically blowing into this instrument, it doesn't actually make sound in and of itself. But what it does instead is through this cable, sends what's called a MIDI signal to my computer. MIDI's musical instrument digital interface. And basically it takes those MIDI signals and I have it set up where it translates them into button presses, essentially. So when I'm playing, it's essentially, it's actually weirdly enough, it's like playing with mouse and keyboard, but instead of playing with an actual keyboard, it's like I play a note and it's like, you just hit enter, that sort of thing. So that's essentially how it works.
I have to ask, how did you even get an idea? Like, how did you even get the idea to do, like, to use an Aerophone and combine it with these FromSoft games? Like, how do you even come up with that?
So initially, the reason I actually have this at all is because when my name is Dr. Decomposing, I actually have a doctoral degree in music composition. So I write music. I've like written for orchestra, opera, film score, video game music, that sort of thing. But there's sort of like the stereotype of the composer, like sitting down at the piano and like composing their magnum opus, blah, blah, blah. I'm terrible at the piano. I'm so bad at the piano. I'm so bad. And actually, what you were talking about earlier about like the independence of hands between like two different controllers, that's actually the trouble that I have on piano, is that I actually have a really difficult time separating the hands. However, I've been playing the saxophone for over 20 years. And so when I saw that there was an electric saxophone that I could like come up with musical ideas on and like not make my apartment neighbors mad with a saxophone, I was like, I'm jumping on that. And then I also noticed, I was like, oh, wow, you can actually translate MIDI notes into keyboard inputs. And then jokingly was like, Dark Souls, anybody? And then the joke wasn't a joke anymore. So that was a year and a half ago. Initially started off with much more simple games in terms of the control schemes like Cuphead. And then Ocarina of Time was actually the first 3D game that I played on the Aerophone. And then I was like, you know what? Let's try Dark Souls 3. Let's try Dark Souls 3. Let's see how it goes. And then we played through the entirety of Dark Souls 3. And we did all bosses. And actually managed to beat Slave Knight Gale at the end of the game on the first try on the Aerophone. And at that point, I was like, yeah, this works. this works. So I was like, I gotta play the rest of them. I gotta play the rest of them now.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to get used to playing like that?
A bit. So the toughest part about this is that there's a couple of things. First is that the way that I'm actually moving my character around in the game, on the back of the instrument here, I don't know if you can see this super well, but there is this little control stick that's under the thumb rest. This is called a mod wheel or a pitch bend wheel. It goes up, down, left, right. My community lovingly calls it the nub. But basically, this is the way that I move my character around. Also, I should point out that this also makes all analog input into 8-directional input, which makes things kind of tricky in some of these games. So, and then on top of that, you'll notice that that is a single control stick. I do not have a control stick for the camera. The camera is controlled one note at a time, and it's up, down, left, right. There's no diagonal.
Oh no,
that does not sound
and on top
good at
to
all.
compound problems on top of that. The saxophone is what's called a monophonic instrument. It means one note at a time. Piano, polyphonic instrument. You can play multiple notes at the same time. Saxophone, you can't play multiple notes at the same time, which means you can't press multiple buttons at the same time unless you like hard code it in. So I cannot run and move the camera simultaneously.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Wow. Impossible.
Cannot run and move the camera simultaneously. I do have some workarounds, but they're not great.
Well,
so they're not as they work, but they're not as like it's not the same like finesse that you would have on with like a normal controller. So,
Sure.
but it's all things that
thing,
over the past year or so, like I've gotten really used to it, and it's at a point now where it's really not that much of a difference between playing on a normal controller versus playing on the Aerophone, except in very specific situations.
Interesting. Well, one thing we'd love to do, Dr. D, is to see this in action. Ultimately, if that's the thing we can do, we'd love to see if you take on a boss for us. I mean, we got a bit of time with you here, so I think the options were Malenia or Radahn. Is that cool with you? Would you be down for that?
Absolutely. And in fact, I actually I'm going to go with Malenia. And I actually have on screen right now my Rune Level 1 run of this game from when I beat Malenia Rune Level 1 on the saxophone last year. So let me switch here real fast. Hopefully this isn't too loud.
Okay.
That might have been a little loud. I apologize. But
Love the transition.
Let's see
Love the
here. I just want to
transition.
make sure that everything is cool. And game. And let's see if y'all can hear this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Hear that?
Let's
Okay.
go.
So the
This
idea
is
is
awesome.
that I've got I'm using the control stick on the back to move my character around. You can actually see the 8 directions there. It's not a smooth, like I've got my normal controller right here. Like that's what spinning the on an analog stick looks like.
Wow.
And then
yeah.
on the Aerophone. So so there's that. But
Okay,
then if
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to like play, if I want to, you know, actually play the game.
Wow, dude,
That
this
is actually
amazing.
insane.
That's it's.
So, and I've got it mapped out
Dude,
where I can like do all menu options.
Wow, I love that.
So good.
I mean, just the way you're controlling the camera with it, it's just that's just mind blowing.
Wow.
Real fast
incredible.
though, you notice that there is like a saxophone sound coming out of it, right? So the Aerophone doesn't actually make sound in and of itself, like I said. The way that we actually choose the sound that comes out of the Aerophone, I actually have a sound library that we can choose from, and there's been a request from my community to have a specific sound for this fight. So I apologize in advance. I can explain. It's actually a combination of 2 sounds. The first sound is a sound that should be familiar to any FromSoft fans who have played a little game called Dark Souls 1. It's a sound that your character makes when they take damage in Dark Souls 1.
Okay.
And then we mix that with an instrument that is called the, let me just double check, make sure I'm getting this right, the sound iron flatulus. That is the name of this instrument, the sound iron flatulus.
That makes this even better. I
Yeah.
don't think it could get any better than this. This is fantastic.
So that's what we're going to use as the soundtrack to fight Malenia. So shall we?
Okay.
Shall we?
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, also, I
Let's
should
do it. Let's do it.
hopefully this goes well. Hopefully this goes well. I'm
believe.
hoping to get at least a phase 2.
Okay. Here we go. Even opening the door was awesome. It's like a sensory overload. This is
I
fantastic.
know, there's so much happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to focus on the fight
Yeah.
doing it this way.
I mean, it's
Just
a
the
good
amount
start.
of focus that you need. Yeah, it gets a frostbite proc and the bleed proc. So
Oh, nice.
I love that wet one. I love
Yeah,
I love the wet one.
sound.
All right, waterfowl time.
There we go.
yep,
There she goes.
very very nice. Baits out the waterfowl.
Wow.
Oh, that is so good.
Jumping through the that's incredible. Oh my gosh. I have to keep checking again
I know.
that the doc is doing this on an electric saxophone. If you just joined us, an electric saxophone. Arguably one of the toughest, if not the toughest boss in the game. Making it
yeah.
look like child's play.
Just the way that you. Oh,
Oh, that combo.
Got me.
I mean,
That's
I
okay.
mean, mate,
That's okay.
let's be honest. It was
We'll
an
switch it to
unbelievable
another
trial.
sound for the folks in the
like that.
audience
That
that,
was
may
great.
be a little bit offended.
that was impressive though. The way
That
like you
was.
certainly know how to do the fight. Like the way you were dodging with the waterfowl and stuff like that. Like I mean, like you're quite
The way
familiar
that,
with
so
the fight.
I haven't
can
done
tell.
this fight in a couple of months. I actually like pulled up this save state last night to practice, just to double. I was like, I should probably practice this a little bit, and I ended up beating her while practicing last night. And the joke that I made to my friends, I was like, it's just like riding a bike, but it's a bike that's killed me about 500 times.
Yep.
So I have one.
I think
sound.
this.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, so I think there's time to have another go. Perhaps. I mean, I think we have the time here.
One more go.
If you're down for that. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got this is
I've gone
the
rogue
newest
there. I have
sound
no
that
production
I've
saying to me, "What are you doing? What are you doing, Adam?" I'm joking. Go for it.
I've got one more sound that this is actually the newest sound that I've added to my library. And if you are fans of the comedian Jack Black, you might be familiar with this one.
I'm definitely familiar. I wonder if the developers from Software are thinking, did we really make the game that easy that you could play this on a saxophone?
What's really funny about
Malenia?
that actually is that when this build that I'm having with the Bandit's Curved Swords with the bleed build, I had started this fight, I believe it was patch 1.6, and I was actively fighting Malenia on my stream, and then I went to sleep, and then the next day they released 1.7, which nerfed my build.
No.
In the middle of me practicing this fight.
That's rough.
No way.
I mean, I'm sure FromSoft is watching this right now and getting ideas for the DLC.
They've got ideas
Yeah.
now.
This is what Armored Core 6 is going to be like.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me.
You've got this, dog. Think of it, your fellow kind of, I guess, friends, students. When you got your doctorate as well in classical music composition, electronic music, are thinking he's put his degree to good use here. I respect it.
100%.
Yeah. If you're not invited back every single semester just to do a talk to the students, then they're missing a trick there.
I mean, this is certainly an application of the independent composer profession that I didn't see, you know?
Neither did I, to be fair.
Yeah.
I love how effortlessly you just did waterfowl as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be familiar
Yeah.
with the fight to,
Especially
You
at
know.
R1. Yep.
yeah. Especially with an electric saxophone.
Yeah, that too.
Nova's getting ideas for her next run.
Yeah. 100%
Let me
she
think.
is.
Nova, what instrument can you play?
None, but I'll learn just for Elden
Okay.
Ring.
Just for Elden Ring?
Yep.
Wow, timing's on point. Oh, yeah, okay, that was good. We're all just mesmerized by this.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
pretty
It's
much.
like, I'm just watching in
absolutely
awe.
I mean, what can you even say, right? Like,
I mean, just-
I didn't expect to see this.
Yeah.
Someone's just tuned in to Twitch Rivals and gone, what the hell is going on?
This is what you get at Twitch Rivals, you know? That's why you always got to keep watching.
This is it. Rivals is where it's at, baby.
That attack is so scary.
Very nice job with the
Yeah.
triplets.
Yeah, really good. Wow, that second phase is so close.
Yeah, she should be
Wow.
close to another proc any second now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
The
nice.
rolls.
So well timed.
Come back here.
Oh, right there.
One hit. Wow.
Nice.
Oh
Nice.
my god. GG, well
Right.
played.
One more sound for phase 2. This is my concentration sound. This is the
Oh,
one that I initially added to the my library for Sekiro when I worked on a Deathless Sekiro run. This is a shamisen with a taiko drum ensemble sound.
Here we go. Oh, that's awesome.
Gets the seppuku off. And let's see, phase 2 is so much harder than phase 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
Really nice
proc.
hits.
Nice.
Ooh,
Oh, yes.
what do I know? Oh, this attack though.
Got me! Dang it!
Oh, dude.
Split second.
That attack is
split second
really,
too late on that
it's
last
very,
dodge.
very hard to deal with. You did a great job though.
Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, that was as good as done. That was unreal.
Wow.
That was unbelievable. I mean, it's
Thank you very, very much.
Because I'm kind of watching you at the same time, seeing how you're moving and how you're reacting, and like how. I mean, get back to Nova's question. But how long did this take? Do you think to get to the level you are now? Was there a moment that everything just clicked and you were like, "I got this down. This is it. This is it."
I think honestly, the moment that was kind of groundbreaking in terms of like I can actually do this was when I figured out how to connect the Aerophone actually to my PlayStation 5 directly, and I did a deathless run of Bloodborne on that with the Aerophone, and going through that entire game, having that marathon experience of like 2.5 hours straight through the game and managing to do it. That was the moment I was like, okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do all of this.
It's amazing. And we see as well, you're currently in the process of doing your Deathless Dupe run as well. So you're going to do all these different Souls games, and that's impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, this has been amazing. And obviously,
currently working on Deathless Elden Ring at the moment. My wall is Fire Giant at the moment.
Wow,
Nice.
that is amazing. Honestly, it's been so great having you here. Obviously, as well, if you guys watching at home have not done so, check out Dr. Decomposing and the community as well. Love the humor coming out and the different sound effects as well. Obviously, you've got a great community there as well, massively behind you. Do go and have a watch and follow this guy, because this is absolutely, honestly, this has blown me awake. Thanks so much for being here, and all the best with everything in the future, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
It's been great. Thanks, buddy. Take care. See you soon. Good luck with everything. Man, that was crazy. Like, I genuinely like.
Wow.
You guys are doing some amazing things, but an electric saxophone. I mean, Ain, that's bonkers, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm actually speechless. I can't believe that. I can't believe what we just saw. You know, I did not expect, coming into day 2, I did not expect to see something like that happen. So I'm just, you know, I'm shocked. I mean, hey, maybe I should get a saxophone, you know? That's where gaming's heading.
We got to level it up though. Obviously, he mentioned a piano. What other instruments could we use? Like an oboe, maybe a cello.
We could do like a rock band thing. I'll play the drums. You guys can do the guitar. Someone can sing. You know, we got Larksa. She did the voice commands. We could do that.
She did.
Hey, it's definitely it seems hard. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like a lot of work and effort is going to go into that. But I'm game. I'm down for it.
Perfect.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, it just goes to show how accessible like a game like Elden Ring is, right? Because you can do so many different types of challenge runs on this game. Like we've seen, like Perry yesterday with the EEG, and today, you know, with the saxophone. So, hey, who knows what's coming tomorrow?
I know. Dr. Decomposing there, absolutely amazing. And as we said, make sure to check him out online as well, and find where you can watch the streams and watch that kind of crazy Deathless Dupe run, the God run that it's just. It's unbelievable. We got very soon got our PvP coming up, guys. I mean, drawing our attention back to that. I mean, Nova as well. You know, we've talked about 2v2s all day. I don't think any of our competitors will be using a saxophone to compete in the Coliseum.
Dang it.
However, we're going to Caelid today into the Coliseum there. I mean.